Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Daily with me and Landon. Landon, hey, man, it is good to see you. I know you got a lot of stuff cooking in the background, and I'm going to preface it with this. Look, things are not getting any easier for VA disability compensation. Things are getting more narrow. Things are getting a little more difficult. And if you are not at 100% already, then I highly, highly suggest a couple different things. I'm going to give you three things. One, go to Claim Raven's website, claimraven.com. Go to the YouTube channel as well, Claim Raven, very easy. Do that. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't. If you need medical evidence, American Medical Experts, they are the experts, board-certified doctors that can help you with the evidence you need for your VA disability compensation claim. They understand the VA process and the legalese wrapped around it. Very important. They'll offer you a free consultation as well, so take advantage of that. And lastly, if you need a second set of eyes on your VA disability compensation situation, there's a link in the description and in the comments, a free review of your situation. And then we can give you an idea. Hey, is there a there? Can we get you moved from that 50% or 40% or 70%? Can we get you over the hurdle into a higher rating? At the end of the day, doing it now is probably the most important thing that you can do. I will tell you, there will be plenty of people that a year from now look back and go, wow, I wish I would have. With that, Landon, thanks again for making it. And I want you to share with the folks what is going on in the world of Claim Raven and share with us some of your things that are happening today and some things that we could be looking forward to.
Sure, man. Yeah, no, I appreciate you having me on again. It's always a good time. So I'm working on this thing all the time. So there's updates literally every single day. But some of the big stuff, I know we talked about this already, but obviously the VA bridge, linking your VA, it's pulling in your VA data and then dropping it into the app. That's a huge feature. So many people are using that feature. It's unlocked a lot of things within the app. So now like all the tools kind of work a little better together now that they kind of know who you are better. And then someone else emailed me and requested a feature that I thought was a really great idea. So I got to work on it right away and implemented claim workspaces. So basically, once you pull in your data from the VA and drop it into Claim Raven, you can create a workspace, and a workspace can either be revolving around one single claim, like if you just want to work on one claim, or if it's not linked to a claim and you're just trying to put together some evidence and piece it together. So essentially what Claim Workspace is you create your workspace. I'm just doing one now as I'm talking, just so I can talk through it, the new claim or whatever, and then create the workspace. And then you can drop in documents and then analyze those documents in the workspace. And then you can you can use the Ask Raven tool to ask questions about the workspace and about the files in it. So instead of coming to the app and just asking questions about one particular document and dropping it into the chat, now you can have all your documents together. All that context is together, and then you can sort of pool your resources and efforts into one place.
Right.
And this is a work in progress. So I'm only going to be adding new features and functionality and capability to this, but this is a big feature that was just rolled out. I think like yesterday or a couple days ago.
Wow.
So
that's huge. And I just want to add to that this is, I want to say what really sets Claim Raven apart from anybody else, besides the fact that I believe that it has the smartest system built into it and resources and all that stuff. Its knowledge bank, if you will, is just immense and very, very VA, Board of Veterans Appeals, all of that stuff specific, which really puts up the guardrails for you. Besides that, the ability to shift and move and be dynamic with the development of this, it is truly a tool for the people.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many we'll call it creators out there, hyper focusing on this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it this, and I'm going to do it just this way. And they miss the bigger picture where you are not. And I really appreciate, I'm sure other people do appreciate the fact that you build this thing out as you see the needs developing.
Yeah, no. And people send me emails and ask questions, and I'm kind of like, I didn't realize that the demographic of people that I would be working with would be those people. I initially thought it was going to be maybe a little bit younger of a crowd or whatever, but I'm working with a lot of people who need a ton of help just because of the nature of their history and their records and stuff. But also I have to make things simple, but on the back end, they have to be super duper advanced, and they have to work really well. But on the front end, when you have the older crowd using these tools, man, they're requesting a lot of stuff, and I'm doing my best to deliver, and it's taking things in directions that I didn't anticipate. But that's good, and I'm happy to do that, and I love doing it. And so yeah, no, it's awesome. Like I love it, and trying to update and change things to accommodate that is what's happening all the time. So
yeah. There's so many resources packed into one tight box. I mean, look, you go to Claim Raven and you are able to do so many different things there. And I think that one of the biggest tools now, Landon, is the ability, and really you revamped it, you grew it, you made it bigger, better, and that's consistently happening, and it's going to continue to grow and morph as we move on. But the ability to really have the system review the documentation that you have and look for key things, referencing hundreds and hundreds, 500,000 Board of Veterans Appeals decisions is priceless. Okay. There used to be a day where you would have to go pay thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars to a claims attorney or a claims agent, and they would sift through, 100 different BVA decisions and try to find some language, and that's what you were paying for.
Right.
Those days are gone. There's no need. You can sift through 500,000 or more, and get the information within minutes. So there's very, very few instances in where somebody needs to go pay tens of thousands of dollars for assistance with their claim. I'm telling you, between Claim Raven helping you to put together your own package, if you need a second set of human eyes, there are free accredited resources out there provided at the government level or through the VSOs, American Legion, DAV, so forth. If that doesn't quite work out for whatever reason, you don't feel that they're capable, competent, what have you, there's low upfront fee associated organizations, typically sub $2,000 for that sort of help. If you need help with your medical evidence, the key is try to get your doctor to do it first. Now, if your doctor's the VA, well, it's a little bit hard. They don't like to do Nexus letters, and they don't like to do DBQs. You might get lucky. It's less than 1% out there that will do it for you. It's just a personal thing where they just feel that they want to help you. But if you utilize Claim Raven to get the information you need, you can go to your doctor, if it's a private doctor, and try to work with them to help articulate it and put it into an actual solid format for you as medical evidence. In the event that your doctor can't, won't, or doesn't, you have AME, American Medical Experts. There are resources, is the bottom line, for you to do it yourself, do it with a little bit of assistance, do it with a little bit of paid assistance, working with medical providers that understand the process. You can absolutely get huge wins, get to 100%. I say 100%. Really what I mean is get to be properly rated. In my opinion, as a former veteran service officer, accredited for many years, ran a team in the benefits world for more than a decade prior to even doing a video on YouTube. I will tell you that the one thing that I really honed in on and noticed was veterans shortchange themselves so often when it comes to VA disability compensation in two ways. One, they self-sabotage. They go, well, that thing really doesn't bother me that much. I can deal with that one. Oh, I probably would have had that anyway.
Right.
That sort of mentality eliminates you from even filing the claim. So you file for the one or two things that really bother you. And subsequently, those two things that you filed for actually have smaller percentages than the one that you think is not a big deal. For example, your bad back, and that's all you filed for, is going to give you a 10 or 20%. Meanwhile, your migraines that you think would have happened to you anyway potentially pay on at 50%. So it's a big deal to get properly rated for all of your conditions. The second thing, Landon, that people do that short changes themselves is just being unaware, being ignorant, unfortunately, being ignorant to the vast amount of possibilities under the VA disability compensation umbrella. Many veterans, the majority, I would argue. Okay, now remember, we're talking about of all veterans, 17 million. Remember, it's less than 7 million of those are actually service connected. So the majority of veterans think somewhat to this effect. Well, VA disability compensation is really for physical disabilities. I shattered my femur, I lost an arm, I lost a finger, whatever it is, and mental health. Those are the two things. That's it. And the next stage would be, well, you know, I have to prove that the military caused my situation, my condition. And that's not even the truth. The reality is when the VA, or when you hear anybody actually talk about nexus, the link between your condition and your time in service, the nexus between those two, the linkage, really it boils down to three things. Prove that that condition was caused by your time in service, was manifested, that it manifested during your time in service, just showed up. I don't know, it just showed up. Or was made worse by your time in service. It's those three things. Okay. So that opens up the door substantially. Now, Landon, one last question for you before you got to bounce. If you were in line at a coffee shop, waiting to get a cup of coffee, and you started having a conversation with the guy or gal in front of you, behind you, whatever, you know, they something showed that they were a veteran. You start having that conversation, and they were not fully wound up with what VA disability compensation is. They know a little bit, but not enough. What would be the one recommendation? Like look, if you remember one thing I tell you, this is the one thing you need to remember. Heck yeah.
Go to claimraven.com. No, just kidding.
That's right.
Man, that's tough. Like if they don't really know kind of what the rules are, they might be iffy on, they don't really know if they have something they can be rated for or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh man. The one thing I would tell them or where to go. I would honestly, I think I would say you can do some research online or whatever. But if you just walk in or call a free resource and let them kind of look at your records, that might open your eyes a little bit to what's possible. Now you don't necessarily have to that's what I did. What I did. When I got out, I walked into a VSO and they helped me with a couple ratings for a surgery I had on my foot, and then also a tinnitus claim. And I walked out and I was like, okay, cool, great, whatever. Right. But later on, when I really started to get smart on it, was when I was kind of in a bad spot and feeling pain, and then realizing like, wait a minute, I had that realization later. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah.
Maybe go into a VSO and see what they can do. But also, I mean, me being, I'm a little biased to Claim Raven. I
Yeah.
would tell them, you need to go to Claim Raven, and there's a, where is it here? There's like a resources section with a ton of just overall information about VA disability claims. I would have them read that. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. You know, let me first tell you why I like that you stumbled so much on that. Because it shows that you don't think, well, I know it all, just come here and and that's the wrong attitude, because I think that we together, all of us, right?
Yeah.
That we really need to be in that humble seat of, I'm always learning something. There's always something else I can learn. And here's the other piece, at least for me, is that, look, I think I'm kind of likable, but there's people out there that might not like me, right? Yeah. So you want to find somebody that you resonate with, that you connect with, that can encourage you and that type of stuff. Maybe it's me, maybe it's not. So I think if I had a conversation with somebody and I said, if I just had to tell you one thing to remember, usually my go-to, depending on where the conversation goes, I kind of have two different versions. One version for somebody who knows enough where they just needed a little bit of motivation to lean forward again. It would be file, like today, file your intent to file, preserve that date, and then start working on on trying to gather your stuff. Right. Now, for somebody who is like, nah, it doesn't really bother me that bad, save it for somebody else, all of those types of just those knee-jerk reactions of, it's not for me, I don't need it.
It's pride, a little bit of pride.
Yeah, and it's hard to break that down in one conversation to switch that mindset to, okay, well, I'm going to file. So I think my suggestion in that moment would be, look, do some poking around, do some research. Yeah. I'm not telling you to don't go file anything. Just go get informed, get educated, understand what's out there, what it's for, why it's available, and how it really works. Don't just take the bumper sticker thought that you have in your head of what it is without knowing really what it is. So go on YouTube, go to hadit.com, go to Reddit, read some threads, and do a little bit of research so you can know what's out there and what it's really for.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I did when I decided, like, okay, there's a lot more here going on that I can tackle and that I can handle and file for, and I'm going to take care of this. And I'm motivated. Right. So I went out and did all those things, looked through the Reddit forums, watched YouTube. I watched your channel all the time. And then a part of that research is it has to develop into understanding it for yourself and not just taking somebody's word for it, because I've seen so much bad advice on Reddit and other places that, it sort of is like it can become an echo chamber of bad information.
For sure.
That's one of the huge reasons why I built what I built, is because of that exact issue. And I ran into that personally, like going through my process, reading the 38 CFR sections that were applicable to me, reading the BVA cases, like actually looking at the information in black and white, like we just talked about in this other video about this legislation, what it actually is and what is actually going on versus what the people, are saying.
Right. It's
those
scary.
things, and those things are different. And so that information seeking process has to develop into like, okay, eventually you need to go down a road where you are looking at the real answers, and not just staying in that sort of entry level Reddit echo chamber where you believe a lie. And I think I just put out a video on this too, where you believe something that is not true. And then when you see another veteran have success, then you must be telling lies, or you must be lying.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and that sort of happened to me too, because I was pursuing an arthritis claim, and like a psoriatic arthritis and psoriasis claim. And all I read was how difficult it is, and it's impossible, and they don't rate that, and this and that. And I'm sitting here looking at the schedule for ratings and all this, and the law, and I'm like, what are you talking about? It's right there in black and white. It's got its own diagnostic code. What do you mean they don't rate it? That doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. So anyway, it just, that information seeking has to develop. And then when and if you're ready to come aboard and use Claim Raven, then you're more than welcome to, because it's based in the truth, right? And so that's why I built it. But
zero feelings. Yeah.
yeah.
Love it. All right. Hey, thanks for making it on, Landon. I appreciate you very much. Hey, everybody. Again, if you made it till the end, thank you so much. And if you hung on to the end of this video, I would love to see Landon as the password in the comments. If you say Landon in the passwords, I know you made it to the end. So with that, thanks for watching. We appreciate you very much. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.